Hello everyone, Insane Frame here, and today we are back in New Vegas, my personal favourite of all the Fallout games. Since we killed a lot of gunners in the last challenge, it seems fitting to go ahead and treat Fallout New Vegas like a nice holiday destination, and go to Vegas with casinos, all manner of cool unique weapons. So today, I'm going back to a channel's roots of picking a weapon and seeing if we can do the run. So today's the day we ask, can you beat Fallout New Vegas with a fireaxe? There are many fireaxes in New Vegas, so getting one shouldn't be too difficult. In fact, we can get one right outside Goodsprings if we choose, but there's a lot of cash stores there, so probably not going to do that. But there's also the Knock Knock in Searchlight. I think that might be a little too powerful to use in this challenge, so we'll stick to using the regular fireaxe, but we'll get a fireman helmet and we have to look the part, so I'm really pumped for this challenge. You guys seem to enjoy them, so it's an absolute pleasure to do them for you all, and I've read all the comments in the last video, and all I can say is you guys are the best community I could ask for, so thank you for all the kind words, all the lovely comments. It's just really wonderful to read and it's pretty surreal, so thank you once again. As for the challenge, there isn't any fireman's uniform in New Vegas, but we'll try and find something suitable like some leather armor or something. But it's a classic run and we've got to get the fireaxe and some armor, and with the road open, let's go over the rules quickly. We can only use the fireaxe as a weapon in battle. No glitch or exploits, no cheating or modding, and we're going to be playing on survival difficulty with hardcore enabled. So everything's set up and the rules set, let's go! As with all New Vegas playthroughs, we're in Doc Mitchell's house, and we start with our name. I decided to go with Fireman Sam from the Fireman Sam cartoon series. His real name is Sam Payton Jones, but I'm sure Bluey and Peppa Pig are wondering where he is. Doc Mitchell, rightfully concerned about us talking about cartoon characters, quickly moves us on to get our stats in order. So we decide to go with 8 strength, 3 perception, 9 endurance, 1 charisma, 7 intelligence, 3 agility and 9 luck. This gives us the classic melee crit build in New Vegas, although I am going to go on record and say I won't be using Super Slam since there's no fun in that and makes the run kind of trivial. We're like the local super mutants, I guess, with high strength and endurance, allowing us to swing our axe to smash real good, as they say. Doc Mitchell then sits us down, and for those of you who haven't played the previous Fallout games, your character is made up of skills represented by these numbers. The higher the number, the better, and at the start of the game you can tag 3 skills to get plus 15 points into any 3 skills you want really, so you can cover your weaknesses or focus on your strengths. We decide to go for melee weapons since we'll be swinging a fireaxe, repair since repair is amazing in New Vegas since equipment has durability, and lastly we go for survival since survival is good for cooking food, which is essential on hardcore mode, and lastly we have traits. Traits are really cool since they specialise your character for a trade-off, meaning they're not free, but they can offer benefits to certain playstyles, so they are gold dust for these challenges, and we can select 2 of them. So we go ahead and go for Hot Blooded. So if we drop below 50% health, we get a 10% damage boost, but we get a -2 to perception and agility, great for a melee fighter. And secondly, we go for Heavy Handed. This is absolutely fantastic since it raises base damage but lowers crit chance, but it doesn't affect crit damage. So ladies and gentlemen, with all that done, we drop all of our DLC items in a chest as to not get an unfair start, can't be having that now, but we do repair a submachine gun we find worth a couple of caps, and Doc Mitchell gives us a Pit Boy and a Vault Suit which gives melee weapons and speech, pretty useful, but the most important part is we enable hardcore mode, so we have to watch our food, drink and sleep or suffer stat decline and even death in extreme circumstances, so game on. First things first, we head on over to Prim, since that is going to be where we find part of our armour for this run. A rather rude gentleman starts shooting us. Certainly no one from Pontypandy, and yes, that is where Fireman Sam is from in the cartoon series. Having the best nephew in the world introduces these wonderful facts. But this is something new for Fireman Sam. Fallout is not his cup of tea, but thankfully the NCR troopers in Prim save us, so at least they kill a couple of people. Anyway, now we move on to getting our fireaxe so we can start attacking and defending ourselves. So we go back to Goodsprings source and its water reservoir heals us up, and then we make our way to the Brotherhood bunker and go past the toppled fence and run through avoiding combat whilst seeing a huge crater. Inside are some Brotherhood of Steel Knights, and we take their power armor as they will fetch a nice price for us despite it weighing a ton. But that's not the most dangerous part. The most dangerous part is the wrecking balls known as super mutants, so we quietly sneak on by making sure not to engage with them. Unfortunately they do do spot us and we run for our very lives and we trigger a boulder trap. Apparently a giant boulder doesn't really bother them that much since they can keep chasing us. However, we do manage to set our sights on the trading post and get away from them. There's some caps to be made from selling our power arm after all. We travel through and a kind NCR soldier points us the right way. Got to admit, in all my years, I've never come across this NCR soldier. But we sell more things and begin to make our way, and we creep around the fiends and even get a little bit of loot courtesy of the NCR killing some. The NCR really helping us out early on. After we keep going towards our objective, the Great Khans, we sneak around Vault 19 with some parkour since there's Deathclaws about, and we come out just around the Jackals area and head to Red Rock Canyon. When we get to Red Rock Canyon, we level up and we round out our stats, a little bit of speech, melee weapons and repair. And as for our perk, I go for intense training to bump up our endurance to a perfect 10, giving us the maximum health we can get. As in New Vegas, your endurance is tied to your health every time you level up. So there you go. Now we have Red Rock Canyon on the map, we can fast travel whenever we wish. So we go back to the trading post to go to Boulder City, and then we'll need to solve the shootout here. We go ahead and very importantly, might I say we want to try negotiating with the Khans. Otherwise, we can't actually talk to them, they'll just attack us on sight. This allows us to speak to Jessup and get our level ups. We pump our speech skill since that's going to be incredibly important, and we also grab the perk Entomologist, so we deal 50% more damage to mutated insect. This includes rad scorpions, by the way. This perk here is a little bit underrated if you ask me, but moving forwards we decide to pop a skill magazine to get ourselves just over the speech threshold to convince Jessup to let the hostages go and the Khans can walk away. Then we speak to Lieutenant Monroe and get him to agree to the negotiation. So the NCR and the Great Khans both like us, so now we can get ourselves our equipment. However, the Great Khans don't have fire axes in stock apparently, so I decide to wait around for about a week of in-game, and they still don't have it in stock, so I just decide to bite the bullet and go to Camp Searchlight to get our fire axe. We really need it badly, but we can't hack terminals, so I use our ultimate trap card when we get to Camp Searchlight of luring federal troopers over to Logan and his gang in the basement of the church. The Ghoul troopers actually do a pretty good job of roughing him up, but Logan is one tough cookie, so we actually have to do this 3 more times, and finally, 3rd time's a charm, he goes down like a sack of potatoes whilst we frantically run around the table. We run away from the ghouls and yeah, we get the key and go to the fire station. However, we don't go to the fire station because our radiation is climbing way too high. So we run for our dear lives towards the NCR, who aren't at their post, so we just keep going. And a patrol is nearby and we say hello. Hello NCR troopers, please save us. We get out of dodge before we die of radiation poisoning. That's not even the worst of it though, as we go see Doc Mitchell and get the radiation pumped out of us after he took a bullet out of our head from the beginning of the story. The NCR outpost is now manned, so good job guys, good to see you doing your job, and we speak to them and they're kind enough to actually give us some radaways, so thanks guys. Now for realsies, we actually do go to the fire station and let ourselves in, as we got the key. We do find the knock, but as I said at the start of the video, it's pretty damn powerful and wouldn't be a challenge if we used it, since it's quite an OP melee weapon due to its attack speed. However, the fire station does have fire axes hanging on the wall. The big rad scorpion hits us for pretty much almost all of our health, and we run like Fireman Sam would if he met a big scary horror movie villain, like this giant rad scorpion we have here, and we decide to just make haste since the rads are climbing once again, and we get out by the skin of our teeth, and Doc Mitchell does his thing yell again to help us out since we use all of our radway to survive whilst in Searchlight. But now we have a weapon and a firefighting helmet to match it, so we're in a pretty good spot. We can finally attack and it wasn't half bad. We managed to get some extra objectives done, which is not bad at all. Now we need to be in fighting shape, and the NCR can help with that since our axe has seen better days. Its durability is pretty much almost 0, but we do get some action with it as Fireman Sam starts killing raiders and gains some karma, and also we quite literally get the drop on some Jackal gang members, so we're all good. We get a level up and I just use all of our points into repair so we can get jury rigging later on in the run. We need 90 repair for that perk and we need to be level 14, so it's a bit down the road, but it's best to prepare for it now because 90 points is quite a lot. The NCR outpost comes into view and we're here to see the one and only Major Knight. The reason Major Knight is awesome is because he has 100 repair, but we need 4,900 caps to repair our fireaxe. That is just ouch. That's a lot of caps, and we go to Ranger Jackson, accept his quest to clear the road, but I decide to go to Prim to clear out the enemy forces in the area. Our axe might be beat up, but it still performs the task of pancaking the enemy into the ground. But we're still short on caps, and we go on over and see some fiends who are targeting the NCR. So we use the last of our fireaxe's durability on them, and they have laser weaponry, so we sell everything, and it's just enough to get Major Knight to repair our weapon into full working order. We can now operate at full strength at last. Also, as a side note, I found some leather armor and it works well. It matches our fire helmet, so we have our equipment for the run. Always good to see. So with our repaired weapon, we go to the dry lake, and the reason I took the entomologist perk is the ants and rad scorpions in the area can't keep up with us, and we can make Ruby Nash's rad scorpion casserole to help with our food situation. Or we can sell the poison glands. I think I'll do the latter because there's also geckos in the area, and we can make gecko steaks from the gecko meat. It's one of my favourite spots in New Vegas, and it's a good XP location too. So we level up, and I take a perk I wouldn't normally take, and that's travel light, since we run 10% faster wearing no armor or light armor. This is to help us charge or back up from enemies, and it will be useful to back up against rad scorpions, and we can also close the distance enemies with firearms, so that's also really cool. After more grinding away on rad scorpions, I decided to go against some geckos near the Good Spring source to top up our food and also get their hides, since we can make a nice profit from these. It's really easy, just going to the casinos and winning a boatload of caps, but to do that we need a few caps to get to the strip, 2,000 caps to be precise. Gecko hides are the answer here. I go and pick some bits and pieces, and we get some turpentine from the Crimson Caravan and harvest some horse nettle in the local wildlife, allowing us to make some caps by making some tan gecko hides. We sell these off, and we now have over 2,000 caps for the early game. This is pretty great, and combined with some rad scorpion glands, it can make some nice caps. So walk on in to the New Vegas Strip, and with our current position, it's time to go to the Tops Casino and to show these ruffians what true fisticuffs are. After all, them's the breaks. So we use our fireaxe, we carve through everyone, and the main reason I did this was to make a bunch of caps, and as always, the XP. It's the chairman after all, and who doesn't love killing chairmen? It's a lot of fun, and we're in New Vegas, so why not? The chairmen are falling left, right and centre, and it's not long before we go around and chop them all to pieces, since they aren't the brightest, and there's a lot of swinging, a lot of smashing with our fireaxe, and we gain a lot of experience. So much so, we leveled up. We put all of our points into repair, and as for our perk, we go for intense training to raise our strength up to 9. A very simple level up, but a very effective one. Once the Tops Casino has been cleaned out, we meet Benny, and he is delusional, ladies and gentlemen, since all his guards and all the chairmen have been taken care of. So he tries to talk his way out, but it's to no avail, so he gets what he deserves, and we decide to serve him on a platter. We then get the platinum chip, but before we go, we catch the lady by the door who gives us some casino chips. And what's better than a PG-friendly character gambling? So get your butt playing blackjack and slots, Fireman Sam. There's caps to be won. We eventually get our winnings to rub salt in Benny's wounds, and how's that for winning? We get an NCR and Legion representative approach us, but these two factions aren't for us. So we get on with a few more important tasks and head towards the boomers, as these are part of the story. So we approach and we have to dodge artillery shells. Our travel light perk makes this a little bit easier than normal, and also when we get there they don't exactly roll out the red carpet, but Raquel tells us to mind our behaviour, and she is right to do so, and we go to Pearl, the boomers leader. They are kind enough to let us have free roam around the base, so thank you, Pearl, that's very kind of you. We go speak to Pete and take the snow globe in the Boomer Museum, and for some reason he just bugs out and doesn't finish the story. This isn't great, but we pick up all the quests and go back to Lucky 38 and hand our snow globes for an extra 4,000 caps. Don't worry, we will get the one in the Lucky 38 eventually, we just have a lot of work to do first. It's then over to the New Vegas clinic, and we can now upgrade our stats and all the other wonderful stuff. So we grab the subdermal implant for passive armor, a +4 to our damage threshold, along with a strength and luck implant, letting us get to 10 strength and 10 luck. That's all we need for now. So we decided to head on out to Cottonwood Cove to go and pay a visit to the Legion. We go to the fort to see Kaiser, then we get our platinum chip returned after we surrender our weapons. Go into the bunker and get our weapons back. A huge mistake, so we start killing the Praetorians guarding it. It took a few tries, admittedly, since there's 3 of them and 1 of us, but we eventually come out on top and finish them off. It's then time to take the fight outside and start cutting down the Legion, legionaries. Once some of them are removed from the lower camp, it's time to fight them in the main camp, and some of the legionaries are wielding machine guns. They do hurt a lot, but we are coming at them like a truck, so it's not a good day to be a legionary. Once they're all removed, we can fast travel to the New Vegas clinic, heal up, grab some med-X and some psycho to help our damage, and I also decided to upgrade our armor to reinforced leather armor, making it pretty damn effective, and it looks the part too. Now we get the part where we have to kill Caesar and everyone in his command tent, but we have our ultimate trap card in the form of a table, ladies and gentlemen. That's right, this table allows us to split the legionaries' high command and give them death by 100 hacks, as they aren't the brightest when it comes to combat. So after a few circuits of running around the command tent and then going to the table and continuously attacking them, they start to fall like apples. They fall one by one, and of course we are just all too happy to see them hit the ground. We level up and I get repair to 100, so we can maintain our equipment no problem. And also we grab some melee weapon, but what's more is, ironically, the perk that would have helped us the most is Confirmed Bachelor, and is the one I decided to get, as it allows us to deal 10% more damage against male opponents. But it's nice to have, and now once we loot all the Legion's bodies, the chems wear off and it's time to go to Mr. House's bunker to get the Securitron army up and running. The bunker is easy to go through since we can just chop the Protectrons, no problem. The turrets aren't too bad either, and we can easily get to the console to give the power to the rest of the Securitron army that lays dormant here. So everything checks out with no problems whatsoever. We take our leave, Mr. House is impressed, but we go back to the boomers, and for some reason Peter's fixed and tells the story. We ask him questions, pass a couple of speech checks and level up. We just put our points into melee and survival, so food heals us and we hit harder. A simple playstyle for a simple challenge. But we go ahead and get the solar panels repaired, then we go into the depths of the array and start killing, and it feels like we're killing rats in Morrowind, but the ants are just dying left, right and centre. The generator is very quickly cleared as we squash some ants, complete the quest and hand them in. One to Raquel for squishing all the ants, and one to Loyal for fixing the solar arrays. We then go to Pearl and she says it's time. She wants a bomber delivered from the bottom of the lake. So we go to the main man Loyal, who gives us a device, and without missing a beat we just jump in the lake and start swimming. We swim down and are careful not to drown, since that is a possibility here, and attach the ballast underneath the bomber's wings. We then go ashore, use Loyal's remote, and hey presto, the bomber is afloat, ladies and gentlemen. We report to Loyal and he's all too happy to hear of our progress, and Pearl owes us a favour. So we say, can you help us out at Hoover Dam when the time comes? She agrees, so thank you, Pearl. Next up is the Brotherhood of Steel, and we're going to need someone to help us gain access to the bunker. So we go back to the trading post and we ask for Veronica. This is going to be quite dark, so we go ahead, let her tag along. We go in the bunker and she goes up to the intercom system and begins talking, gaining us access. She doesn't know what we're about to do, and as I said, it's going to be quite dark, so we spare her of course, and we can't have her witnessing this mission, so she gets the VIP treatment and gets to relax in the Lucky 38, letting us get on with the mission. So first up, we kill the head scribe. We grab his keycard and his uniform without anybody seeing. Next is the head paladin, but he is a fool, as Paladin Hardwind does not wear a helmet and he's alone. Not a wise idea, sir, so we take note and take him out. Sorry, Hardwin, it has to be done. And lastly is Elder McNamara. He is the trickiest, but as with all the past playthroughs, we do what we do best. We pickpocket his keycard, and that's all we need, since it's not worth taking the guards on. So when all the keycards come together, they make the pseudo-legendary self-destruct sequence. So we initiate the pseudo-legendary self-destruct sequence and make the whole thing start beeping with an alarm. We don our disguise, making for the easiest Brotherhood bunker running, and then when we get to the surface, the bunker blows up thanks to Veronica, and she will never know. Now everything is in place and we are ready to see Mr. House. He's a man that likes stuff done, and we have completed half his missions, so we report in. We drop off the Lucky 38 snow globe as well. Don't worry, we didn't forget about that. We get down to business and Mr. House wants the boomers on side. Well, we've already done that, but we level up because we handed in the quest, and I decided to go for finesse, so we gain extra crit chance with our fireaxe. always nice to have. But our next mission is to go to the Gomorrah Casino and ask the receptionist for a contact. She then says to ask for Caccino, so we ask around and Caccino is not happy about it. It's evident he is not using his manners, honestly. So we decide to play his game, we pickpocket his journal and show it to him, and he immediately realises he has done wrong, and when confronted, he suddenly wants to play ball. He even gives us some caps, so we move on to the next step of the quest. We have two gentlemen, and one of them is an arms dealer, so we go to his room and do the same thing. We pickpocket his key, and we find a super secret safe and take the evidence by acquiring some tapes from it. We decide to confront him, but this is all part of the plan. We are the upstanding fireman Sam, and Clarendon is an arms dealer, so naturally he tries to kill us when we present the evidence. We are unarmed and helpless, but because he attacked us, he draws the attention of the guards, and since we can't attack because we don't have our fireaxe, we decide to watch him fight against the guards until he's no longer able to. This lets us loot him, and then we report to Caccino, and he wants us to kill Sal and Nero, the bosses of the Gomorrah Casino. Go into the office. Big Sal is a big dick since he wants us to just die and he wants to rub salt in the wound, but since we can't attack, Caccino draws all their attention and is the first to die. This is why manners, Caccino, just manners. We grab the key, run out, and of course the casino bosses don't realise they've broken their own rules, so the guard rightfully gang up on them, swarming them and making sure they won't be a problem, since they're dead and we have completed Mr. House's quest by using our manners. The best way to complete a quest, and I will raise a cup of Yorkshire tea to that, so thank you very much. We report our success to Mr. House, and got to say, it's refreshing solving the quest like that, and a lot easier than I thought it would be. Mr. House is pleased, so I finish my cup of tea, and then get my favourite mission in New Vegas, the assassination mission with the president of the NCR. We have to prevent President Aaron Kimball from being assassinated, and there's 3 possible scenarios of him getting killed. The first is being shot, the second being stabbed, and the last being his vertibird blows up. It's our job to prevent it, so we go to Hoover Dam and begin to prepare for this. We get a mechanic's jumpsuit from below the stairs and then report in to Ranger Grunt, who's heading up this operation. Then we start the mission. First up is this very suspicious engineer on the vertibird landing pad, but we have a large amount of repair skill, so we disarm the bomb outright. It looks like he just stuck it on like a piece of gum, but hey, we get the bomb out the vertibird. Secondly, we go behind the president and see a sniper tower, and we see a ranger get thrown off. Very suspicious indeed. We deal with the sniper, so he gets chopped up with our fireaxe, and Mr. House's plan is going exactly how we want it to. We then just watch the speech, and since the engineer won't stab Kimball, since he doesn't know the vertibird is disarmed, everything is sorted, Kimball leaves, and the vertibird flies off. See you later, Mr. Kimball. It was a pleasure having you here. But then we go to Mr. House. He is very happy and gives us one last quest before the Battle of Hoover Dam. We have to go to the El Dorado power station near Helios 1 to install an override. But I take this time instead to grind on the Instex near Nipton and near Helios 1 to get a couple of levels, since we'll need to be prepared to take out the Legate, and he is a deadly, deadly force to be reckoned with. We take out some ants and a Legion hit squad comes in, since our reputation is so low. They tried to take us out, but got to admit it's a good idea of Legate Lanius to try and take us out now, but we are Fireman Sam, so we take them down no problem. As soon as we close the gap and then go to Nipton, we deal with the rest of the Legion in the area. Some good XP right there. The next couple of hours, I just grind in the El Dorado Dry Lake and on the Fiends around Vault 3, since there's a lot of caps to be had there as well, and go to the racetrack in the Ivanpur Dry Lake in the southwest, just next to the NCR outpost. We just keep doing this like a circuit, and any downtime is spent at the Good Spring Source. We do this every couple of days, as it takes 3 days for animals in that to respawn. Just eat some food and drink, and then just repeat it all over again, whilst the Legion send in assassination squads to shore up our cap. Needless to say, we've taken 1 squad out, so several more is not a problem. We then level up, and the level up we've been waiting for, level 14. All our points go into survival, and we pick the one, the only perk, jury rigging, so we can use similar items to repair our weaponry. How it works, nobody knows, apart from us, according to the tooltip, so there you go. But our fireaxe will be in tip-top shape, and I just keep grinding on the wildlife and the fiends around Vault 3 for a couple of hours. We then get to level 16, and I grab the last of our survival, so it's now a perfect 100. We also grab the perk Fight the Power, so we get +5 crit chance and +2 damage threshold against Brotherhood NCR and Legion factions. So we're going to be a lot better at Hoover Dam and also the assassin patrols. We do the NCR outpost mission from Ranger Jackson. Totally didn't forget to do this, and well, we destroy all the ants in the road, and there was probably a mix-up with the forms, and he accidentally resupplies us, so we're all good there. But I decided to stop killing wildlife and go see the super mutants we avoided at the start of the run. It goes pretty well. They're direct and want to smash our faces in, and can't say I blame them. We made a boulder fall on top of them. But we come up amazing, since the fireaxe goes choppy choppy, mutants go smashy smashy with some Daka. Turns out all you need is a good chopper, and we just absolutely butcher them. We then see Tabitha, secretly Taylor Swift's rival, and she gets chopped up, and we get a heck of a lot of experience since we completed the quest crazy. It's quite nice. I might do a run where everyone is hostile in New Vegas in the future. It would be fun. But we get more experience, and after foraging for a while, I find my new favourite thing to craft in New Vegas. Some Brahma meat, piña nuts, and barrel cactus fruit gives us a desert salad. This gives us some major health regen, and I don't know why I haven't crafted these before, so we craft a handled CS fruit of Hoover Dam. We then go to Cottonwood Cove to settle the score with the Legion. Our shortcut is to fast travel to the fort, cut them down, start swiping inside their storage room in Cottonwood Cove, and we hack away at them to absolutely demolish them. After we then free some slaves and deal with a silly billy guard. We then level up to level 19, so we're starting to get up there with the levels, and it's all in on medicine to help with healing items since all the other stats don't really help us too much. But eventually I do grind to level 20, and I decide to get solar powered, so in sunlight we get +2 strength and heal slowly. Also, I had so many caps from the Fiends and all the Legion assassination squads, and using jury rigging to repair weapons, we get just an absolute truckload of caps. So I go for the Phoenix augment from the New Vegas clinic. This allows us to heal passively, and also when we rest in bed, it also heals us there, and it banks very well with solar power, so we basically have double regen. At this point, I think we're ready to go to the El Dorado power plant. It's easy peasy. We just walk in, use the terminal, walk back out, and just ignore the NCR, and then it's time to run away from them. So we then go to the Lucky 38 to report to Mr. House, and we're ready to go to Hoover Dam. Our prompt shows, needless to say, we're ready, so let's do this. The first half of the bridge, not a problem. We have a Securiton MK2, so ideal backup. We're just going ham on the enemy. They can't really hold us down, especially with our regen, so they're having a hard time. Also, we are allies with the Boomers and the NCR, so they show up with a fiery bomber, my favourite scene in New Vegas. Oh, it's just beautiful. I even love the sound. It's just amazing. And then we decide to go in the tower and go in the control room. We quickly take out 2 NCR heavy troopers, still maintaining relations with them. We are a little bit on the neutral side now, but we can kill them and we can just go around with no consequences. In the control room, however, Mr. House appears, and he does the heavy lifting and has Hoover Dam under his control. He also prints the surrender papers for the NCR, which General Oliver's going to love. We turn the power on from a switch on the wall in the Hoover Dam. We then make our way through the halls and start heading topside after healing from using one of the tower's bathrooms. It has a sink and we just drink from it till we're full health. The second part of the bridge is simple and easy as pie. As the Securitrons clear the way, nothing to see here other than Securiton Mark II's obliterating Legion forces. Then we have the Legate camp, and this, ladies and gentlemen, is when we start using our special in VATS. Hence I didn't take Super Slam. It pretty much acts as Super Slam for action points, hence why Super Slam would have been really broken this run, since we could just chain stun everybody. So the Praetorians are just destroyed, since we can just blitz through the Praetorians, and our Securitron is still here, by the way, still doing damage. He is a useful little fella. All I've got to say is well done, Securitron, you're awesome. And then we finally destroy all the Praetorians in the camp, and we get to the Legate. Now, for the Legate, I have a nasty combo installed for them. Earlier in the run, we went to the Great Khans. What I didn't tell you guys is in their camp, they have a lot of turbo. Turbo makes everything around you slow down. However, combine this with rushing water by using purified water and jet, you make your attacks 50% faster as time slows down. You can already see where this is going. You've got a pretty disgusting combo there. However, I will say, gentleman rules will spare the Legate from this combo, but we'll just take out the Praetorians instead in one fell swoop, since Turbo and Russian Water is awesome, and you can see we attack disgustingly fast. Then we move on to the Legate. We give him a taste of his own medicine, using his own sweep attack on him by using Mauler, and continuously chop him with our fireaxe until he can't get up again. We keep using Mauler, and he is stun locked, ladies and gentlemen, so GG Legate. It's not nice when people sweep you and kill you now, is it? Here's the most straightforward Legate fight ever, and as for his reinforcements, they aren't a problem, as they focus Securitron, and unfortunately it dies. But we do go for the Legion using the Assault Carbine, leaving just the melee troops, and Fireman Sam is a melee legend, ladies and gentlemen. They are not a problem. We've beaten the Legion, since the reinforcements were a pushover. Now it's time for General Oliver, and try as he may, we have a lot of Securitrons courtesy of Mr. House, since he's got lots of reinforcements. They are done for, he is melted, and we end the run answering the question, can you beat New Vegas with a fireaxe? And yes you can. It's a pretty cool run indeed. So yeah, well done Fireman Sam. Well, there you go, that run was awesome. It took the channel back to its roots, and I was avoiding getting a fireaxe from Searchlight, but in the end, we just let the Gauls kill Logan, have our way, so it's all good, and then raided the fire station. I think Super Slam or the Knock Knock would have made us extremely overpowered, so I kind of had to tailor the run a little bit, but it was still a challenge, and it was awesome, and just going around the local wildlife and just half farming XP, well, that made the run a real classic in my book, so kind of love this challenge. It's my kind of run for sure. Anyway, the next challenge, I'm going to up the ante and see if we can do Fallout 4 on survival difficulty using only Pain Train with the T45 armor. It was lovely using it in the previous challenge with the gunners, but it's time to use it accordingly and see if Pain Train can really finish the game for us. Since a couple of you did want to see it, so we'll go for it. Anyway, I've been Insane Frame, and it's come to that time of the video now, so thank you so much for watching, and if you made it this far, thank you, you're an absolute legend, and you know, all of you just watching, taking time out of your day, thank you for being awesome. You make this channel what it is, and thank you for just letting, you know, this one guy fulfill his dreams on YouTube. And I honestly can't thank you all enough. It's really surreal doing this, so thank you, thank you, thank you. All I can say is have a fantastic night, look after yourselves, please look after your loved ones, and just stay safe. You guys are all amazing. Thank you so much for being here and just making this channel what it is. The last video, you all made such nice comments, and you are a fantastic community, and that's all I can say really. I've been Insane Frame. I'll see you in the next one, and yeah, thank you so much for watching. Ta-ta everyone, bye-bye for now.